Welcome to Gridiron Ring, a sports talk show covering football and professional wrestling. I'm your host, the Encyclopedia Sports School hand, Luke 96. WWE Elimination Chamber will be this upcoming Sunday, February 17th, 2019, in the Lone Star State of Texas, down in Houston at the Toyota Center. So 7 matches on the card, 2 Elimination Chamber matches. One is for the WWE Championship, and then the other very well could be the main event of the evening, and that is the Women's Tag Team Championships that will be defended for the first time ever. We will crown inaugural champions on Sunday at Elimination Chamber. Elimination Chamber will be on the WWE Network, but I will be live right here on YouTube doing live reactions, play-by-play of the event, so hope to see everybody on Sunday. 7 matches, as I said. Couple from Raw, a couple from SmackDown, got a Cruiserweight Championship as well. They could bump this up to the kickoff show because at this point in time, there is no pre-show match. They very well could add a kickoff show match just like they do for every pay-per-view, it seems like nowadays. They could add a United States Championship match, maybe a SmackDown Live Women's with Asuka. She hasn't been seen in a couple weeks on SmackDown Live. I highly doubt the Raw Tag Team Championships will be defended. They very well could be, though, on the kickoff show, because this past Monday, if you listened to my Raw and SmackDown recap, if you didn't, go check it out, the Revival won the Raw Tag Team Championship, so they're your new tag team champions. So they very well could add that. I highly doubt it, though, because that just happened this past week, but WWE always throws some surprises our way. We're on the road to WrestleMania now with the Royal Rumble in the rear view. Fastlane coming up here very quickly as well. Sunday, March the 10th in Cleveland, Ohio. So WWE's going to be bouncing around the whole entire country on the road to WrestleMania. WrestleMania 35, Sunday, April 7th. Friday, April 5th, WWE will be having NXT TakeOver Blacklist, I saw. So they changed the name. It's not going to be TakeOver Brooklyn or TakeOver New York. TakeOver Blacklist. So very interesting note there. But as I said, 7 matches, Cruiserweight Championship on the line. Buddy Murphy will be defending against Akira Tozawa. Murphy retained at the Royal Rumble in a fatal 4-way. I think he'll retain once again on Sunday at the Elimination Chamber, and they'll have him continue being Cruiserweight Champion moving forward. Braun Strowman and Baron Corbin are still in a feud. They have a match on Sunday at Elimination Chamber. They actually had a 6-man tag this past week on Monday Night Raw. Strowman was with Finn Balor and Kurt Angle. They teamed up in a 6-man tag versus Baron Corbin, Bobby Lashley, and Drew McIntyre. Originally, the heels won, but then the official came out, said Balor's foot was on the rope, so they restarted the match, and then the babyfaces won. The faces ended up winning on Raw this past week: Strowman, Angle, and Balor. So a lot of storytelling going on in that 6-man tag that went on this past week, as I said in the recap. But Strowman and Corbin in a now no disqualification match on Sunday per the McMahon family. I think Strowman's going to end up winning. They'll give him a push moving forward a little bit if he can stay healthy, get him into the Universal Championship picture probably right after WrestleMania, because it's looking like Rollins is still going to face Lesnar at WrestleMania for the title with him winning the Royal Rumble. They are going to be giving him some time off, it looks like, though, too. That is Seth Rollins I'm talking about at this very second, because it looks like he's injured a little bit. And, I mean, he is the man. He's the guy. Becky Lynch is the man, but he's going to be the new face. Seth Rollins he's going to be the new face of the WWE moving forward, I believe. But they very well could insert Strowman into the match if Rollins can't go as a replacement. But then it'll be after WrestleMania. I believe they'll put Strowman in the Universal title picture now versus Seth Rollins, maybe Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre. There's a couple other guys on Raw that they could very well do the same with. Bobby Lashley, maybe Balor. It's very hard to tell what the WWE will end up deciding on. Sami Zayn will be coming back from injury as well. We'll just have to find out and see moving forward. But no disqualification match at Elimination Chamber. Strowman, I think he'll pick up the win very, very easily. And then keep in mind as well, WWE will be having a superstar shakeup about a week after WrestleMania, I believe it is. It's going to be up in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, April 15th and 16th, I believe, are the exact dates. I'm not actually looking at a calendar at this very second, but they're going to be up north across the border, and Raw and SmackDown will both be in Montreal that Monday and Tuesday, whatever the dates are. So we could see some guys from SmackDown go to Raw and then get the Universal Championship picture as well with Rollins, Strowman. Maybe Lesnar sticks around a little bit longer. Like I said, Lashley, Balor, there's a lot of other guys on Raw as well, but they very well could be going to SmackDown. So maybe they insert Randy Orton from SmackDown on Raw. Maybe Balor goes to SmackDown for the WWE Championship. I don't know what they're planning on doing right now moving forward, so we'll just have to find out and see. I mean, hell, I just saw recently WWE actually hasn't even made up their minds reportedly. I know damn well that they have, but that's just the dirt sheets out there trying to get in everybody's head, saying that WWE still doesn't know what they're going to do for WrestleMania. That just blows my mind. If they didn't know what the hell they're going to do for WrestleMania, they wouldn't be doing what they're doing at this very second on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live, even on NXT, because some NXT guys will probably be getting caught up in that superstar shakeup. And we could see Aleister Black, maybe Ricochet, Adam Cole, Velveteen Dream, Tommaso Ciampa, maybe even Johnny Gargano come up to the main roster after WrestleMania and compete for the Universal Championship and WWE Championship, maybe the United States Championship and Intercontinental Championship respectively. So that just blows my mind, but they know what they're doing. They're setting storylines up this very second. Like I said, we are officially on the road to WrestleMania with the Royal Rumble already taking place a couple weeks ago. I also heard that Kurt Angle might be hanging it up here, and he might be having a retirement match at WrestleMania 35, so I'll have to keep an eye out for that. Moving forward, so I'm picking Buddy Murphy, and I'm going to pick Braun Strowman for the first two matches, but moving forward, Ronda Rousey versus Ruby Riott of the Riott Squad in a Raw Women's Championship match. Rousey's easily going to win this. I mean, Becky might get involved, Charlotte might get involved, she's supposed to be ringside. Everything's going on right now with Becky's suspension, Charlotte getting inserted into the WrestleMania match versus Rousey for the Raw Women's Championship. Charlotte talked about maybe Rousey losing at Elimination Chamber on Sunday and then having a new WrestleMania opponent in Ruby Riott, but that's not going to happen. Rousey will win. We'll get our triple threat at WrestleMania between Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte Flair for the Raw Women's Championship. Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan could very well get involved as well, but we'll have to find out and see. But either way, long story short, Ronda Rousey, there's no way in hell she is losing this title at Elimination Chamber of all pay-per-views with WrestleMania on the horizon. Next, the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships will be on the line. The Miz and Shane McMahon, otherwise known as Co-Besties, the best tag team in the world, they will defend their titles for the first time ever after winning these titles at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view over The Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro. Now, they very well could get involved in this match because they haven't been seen in the past couple weeks, and they're one of the most famous tag teams on SmackDown at this point in time. But I'm going to have to pick the Miz and Shane McMahon to retain because the Usos, they stood tall, and we actually just have breaking news here as well, once again, so I'll get to that here in a second, but when you stand tall on a go-home show before a pay-per-view, you end up losing at that respective pay-per-view 9 times out of 10 a couple days later. So the odds are in favor of the Miz and Shane O'Mac to retain at Elimination Chamber, but the breaking news, literally, I had to stop recording this and start it back up for a second. Breaking news, and it has to do with this match, the SmackDown Live tag team championship match between the Miz and Shane McMahon versus the Usos. Has to do with Jimmy Uso. WWE's Jimmy Uso. This is from TMZ, and I believe it because there is a mugshot. Okay, WWE's Jimmy Uso arrested, allegedly squared up with the cops. WWE superstar. I'm going to read the article here from TMZ. As it's Valentine's Day, it's about the middle of the afternoon here on the East Coast, so happy Valentine's Day to everybody. I'm going to have this uploaded right after I get done recording. So I'm going to read the article here. This is from TMZ. WWE's Jimmy Uso. I'm kind of shocked. WWE's Jimmy Uso arrested, allegedly squared up with the cops. The Usos have had previous run-ins with the law, so I am shocked, but at the same time, once I read this, and then I'm going to read it to you, I'm not really that surprised. So they're definitely going to lose now on Sunday at Elimination Chamber. They might actually get pulled from the event because of this. We'll have to find out and see if WWE announces anything in the next couple days or not. They very well could win them, though, too. We've seen shit like that happen before, too. So really now they're just asking to be released. Potentially maybe to go to AEW, but we'll have to find out and see. WWE's Jimmy Uso arrested, allegedly squared up with the cops. WWE superstar Jimmy Uso, one half the popular Usos tag team, was arrested after a drunken dispute with the cops in Detroit, TMZ Sports has learned. The 33-year-old, real name Jonathan Fatu, and his wife, fellow WWE superstar Naomi, were pulled over near downtown Detroit. Now, SmackDown was in Toledo, Ohio the other day, so they more than likely drove from Toledo to Detroit to fly back home to Florida. They were pulled over near downtown Detroit after cops say Naomi was driving the wrong direction on a one-way street. According to our police sources, cops say the 2018 Dodge Journey reeked of booze, so they ordered Naomi out of the car. We're told while Naomi talked to cops, Jimmy got out of the car despite commands from police, and he took off his shirt and jacket and squared up like he wanted to fight. Good God. We're told the officer took out his taser because he was scared for his safety. You cannot make this shit up, folks. Jimmy ultimately settled down and complied with their commands. Then he was handcuffed and arrested for disorderly conduct and obstruction of justice. He was taken to jail and later posted bond. Uso was not in Detroit for a WWE event. Yeah, no shit. SmackDown Live was in Toledo, though, and like I said, they probably drove from Toledo to Detroit to fly back home. The Uso brothers, are multiple-time SmackDown Tag Team champs and are scheduled to face the Miz and Shane McMahon for the belt at Elimination Chamber in Houston this weekend. End quote. Wow. And that's from TMZ, so I believe that. Normally, it's hard to tell with TMZ, but I believe that there is a mugshot. Really don't know what to think about that at this very second. Like I said, I'm surprised, but at the same time I'm not, because they've had previous run-ins with the law, but we'll have to see what WWE decides to do. Let me know actually down in the comments below what you guys think about that. That is breaking news, literally hot off the press, just broke a short time ago. The almighty Bobby Lashley and the man of the hour himself, Lio Rush, will defend Lashley's Intercontinental Championship in a 2-on-1 handicap match versus Finn Balor. Balor, he should have won the Universal Championship, but he didn't, versus Lesnar at the Royal Rumble. I think he'll end up winning the Intercontinental Championship sometime soon. However, it's not going to be Sunday at Elimination Chamber. I think it very well could be at WrestleMania, because by that point in time, they might put Lashley on SmackDown. They might put Lashley in the Universal Championship picture as well on Monday Night Raw, but we'll have to find out and see. But for Sunday at Elimination Chamber in this 2-on-1 handicap match, Lio Rush, he'll get involved one way or another. He might actually get tossed. I don't know. I mean, it's a 2-on-1 handicap match, so he's going to be there. He's going to be ringside. But he's still technically part of the match, so they can't really throw him out unless he gets disqualified. But then that could happen, and then Bobby Lashley would still retain, because Balor would win by DQ, but if you're a champion, you retain your championship. So Lashley will still be champion then moving forward. And that very well could be the route WWE decides to take, because it is a 2-on-1 handicap match for the Intercontinental Championship. I don't know the last time that happened, if it has ever happened before, but Balor, he'll get it eventually, just not on Sunday. Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush, they'll find a way to win on Sunday at Elimination Chamber, so Lashley can continue being Intercontinental Champion moving forward. Then finally, the 2 Elimination Chamber matches, one for the WWE Championship, then the other for the Women's Tag Team Championships. I'll do the women's first. Nia Jax and Tamina, they stood tall on Monday Night Raw. They're teaming up to face the Riot Squad, Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan from the Riot Squad. Ruby's facing Rousey for the Raw Women's Championship, as I said earlier. So Nia Jax and Tamina versus the Riot Squad versus Fire and Desire, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville versus the Iconics, Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, who also stood tall on SmackDown. I talked about that in the recaps. Go check it out. Versus the Boston Hug Connection of Bayley and Sasha Banks, who I think will end up winning, versus Naomi and Carmella in the first ever Elimination Chamber match, the first ever Women's Tag Team Championship match as well. They will crown new champions on Sunday in Houston at the pay-per-view. I have to go with the Boston Hug Connection. There's a storyline going on right now with Bayley and Sasha getting back together after being best friends and then feuding with each other for a little bit, but now they're back together. But Sasha, she's hurt a little bit, and whether she's hurt real life or storyline wise, I don't know. They're really working with Bayley being just by herself, because Sasha could be leaving as well. But for right now, I think they'll crown Bayley and Sasha. They'll find a way. Bayley or Sasha might be on their own for a little bit on Sunday, but then towards the end of the match, and these Elimination Chamber matches, 2 superstars will start off, and then there's going to be 4 pods. So with it being a tag team match, you're going to have 2 tag teams start out, and then the other 4 tag teams in those pods. And then about every 5 or so minutes, another tag team will enter the ring, and the match will go on until it's over, until a winner is crowned. So that's how it'll go for both the tag team and the WWE Championship match on Sunday, if you did not know. So 2 superstars then for the WWE Championship will start, the other 4 in the pods, so on and so forth, as I just said. So Bayley and Sasha, towards the end of the match, they'll find a way to end up winning. They'll be crowned your inaugural Women's Tag Team Champions. And then I've heard WrestleMania, they might be bringing back Trish and Lita once again to have a WrestleMania match versus Bayley and Sasha for the Women's Tag Team Championships, and then crown them as the new champs and have them come back and be on TV for a little bit for your summer run up to SummerSlam, which is going to be also up north across the border in Toronto. So far I have Buddy Murphy, Braun Strowman, Ronda Rousey, co-besties, the best tag team in the world, The Miz and Shane O'Mac, Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush, and then the Boston Hug Connection of Bayley and Sasha Banks winning this Sunday at Elimination Chamber. Then the main event of the evening, this very well could be the co-main event, though. They could very well put the Women's Tag Team Championships in the main event scene. The WWE Championship will be defended inside the Elimination Chamber. Daniel Bryan, he is the current WWE Champion, the new Daniel Bryan with his new eco-friendly WWE Championship. He'll be defending that versus Kofi Kingston, who is replacing Mustafa Ali, versus Jeff Hardy, versus the Viper Randy Orton, versus Samoa Joe, and then versus the phenomenal AJ Styles. Now, they had a gauntlet match this past week on SmackDown. Great match, a little over an hour, but Randy Orton ended up winning. He stood tall, so as I've said, I don't know how many times today, when you stand tall and you go home show, you normally don't win at the pay-per-view. So I don't think Orton's going to win. He very well could win. I highly doubt it. He could get a WrestleMania match, though, versus Daniel Bryan. Maybe versus AJ Styles. We'll have to find out and see. But long story short, for this WWE Championship match, Daniel Bryan's going to retain. We could get Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles at WrestleMania. Maybe Bryan Orton, maybe a triple threat between the 3 of those guys. Kofi Kingston, he's only in this because Mustafa Ali's hurt. I don't think they'd have Kofi win it at Elimination Chamber, but hell, they had Bray Wyatt win his first ever WWE Championship 2 years ago at Elimination Chamber. So it's hard to tell what they'll do. Daniel Bryan, though, I believe will retain at Elimination Chamber. I said it a couple weeks ago. I believe he's putting out his best work right now as a superstar, wrestling and promo-wise, talking on the mic. The sky's the limit for him as well, along with Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe, like I said a little bit ago in the Raw and SmackDown recap. So he'll get a WrestleMania match for the WWE Championship. Obviously, he'll defend it in East Rutherford, New Jersey, versus somebody. I don't know who. Like I said, could be against any of these guys. It's going to be one of them more than likely because they're all on SmackDown. I doubt they'll do a brand versus brand match, and they should with the brand split that they've had, but they just haven't. I don't know why they haven't, but they just haven't. But he'll find a way to win. Daniel Bryan will win on Sunday at Elimination Chamber. Whether he pins Kofi, Hardy, Orton, Joe, or Styles, I don't know. Who. He'll win and move forward to maybe potentially face one of these guys at Fastlane and then somebody else at WrestleMania. We'll have to find out. See, I really don't know what to think about the WWE Championship right now. I honestly don't. That's why I'm going back and forth and just speaking gibberish to you right now about this match. So, Daniel Bryan, he'll still find a way to win, long story short. So, DB over Kingston, Hardy, Orton, Joe, and Styles on Sunday in the WWE Elimination Chamber match. So those are my WWE Elimination Chamber predictions for the pay-per-view this Sunday down in Houston. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hit the thumbs up button if you did. Like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Let me know down in the comments who you guys have winning on Sunday. And I hope to see everybody on Sunday right here on YouTube for my live reactions play-by-play of WWE Elimination Chamber.